What's up, everybody? So the question today is, should you reveal your prices before an actual consultation? So somebody calls your law firm, they say, what do you charge for a divorce? Or what do you charge to handle my personal injury case? Or what do you charge for a DUI? Should you reveal your price on the phone, or should you make them do a consultation before you tell them the price? And if so, how do you navigate that situation so that the lead doesn't get frustrated, doesn't get angry, doesn't hang up and go to the next person, so that you can actually reveal your price at a later point? Let me know in the comments, do you tell your prices over the phone, or do you make them come in for a consultation? I have a very strong opinion about this subject. As you may have caught, I believe that you should under no circumstances reveal your prices before the actual consultation happens. We recently had a client, I was on the phone with him, and he's like, we're getting lots of leads, but the problem is all of our leads are broke. Everybody's broke, right? And what he wanted to do is he wanted to pre-qualify the leads before they came into his office so that he wasn't wasting time with people that couldn't afford him. He's a family law attorney. His divorces started about $5,000 and up. So it makes sense. He doesn't want a lot of people that can't afford his services to come in. However, what he was doing, or I should say what his staff was doing, was completely turning away clients that would have otherwise paid his fees. But because of the way that they presented the fees in the beginning on the initial call, what happened was they were basically turning a lot of people away. So what he had trained his staff to do is to say, okay, that sounds good. Just so you know, our fees are about $5,000 to get started. Is that going to be okay? Now, what do you think happened when somebody who is, not going through a good situation, probably not, feeling extremely secure financially right now because they're going through a divorce, and then you're immediately met with, I want a divorce. Okay, that'll be $5,000. Are you okay with that? What do you think's going to happen? Most people say, no, I'm not okay with that. They're completely sticker shocked. They're completely shell shocked. And the reality is you have done zero to show them why it is in their best interest to pay that $5,000, why they can't afford not to pay that $5,000, why if they don't pay that $5,000, it's going to cost them $50,000 later. All you've done is basically just told them the price, freaked them out, and then they go somewhere else where they probably will pay about that amount because that's what a freaking divorce costs, right? A better way to handle that situation, if you want to still pre-qualify people and figure out if people can afford you, but you don't want to kill the entire deal by revealing your prices, is answer the calls in a different way. Let's try that scenario again. Let's say that you find out I'm dealing with a child custody issue. Say, okay, awesome, cool. Well, what we'll do is we're going to book a consultation, or we're going to book a time for you to come in and meet with the attorney. Now, before we book this consultation, I want to let you know our services are not the cheapest, but I assure you that we are the best, and nobody will fight harder to get custody of your children than we will. And they'll say, okay, cool. Well, yeah, but how can you just give me an idea of how much it is? Say, well, to be honest with you, we're a boutique firm and we base all of our prices on what it's going to take to get the absolute best outcome for you. So we won't know exactly how much it's going to cost until we hear all the details of your case. But again, as I said, we're not the cheapest, but I assure you we are the best. And with that in mind, would you like to schedule a consultation? That's the exact script that I gave this client. And the people that came in to his law firm dramatically increased. It was essentially 10 to 20% of people that called the firm would actually then say $5,000 is fine, let's book the consultation. After this, more than half the people that called the firm would come in for a consultation, and a very large percentage of those people would hire them once they actually had the opportunity to go through the sales process and the attorney was able to show what the value is in hiring their firm. Now, how do you show that value? The first thing you have to do is you have to figure out what's their dominant buying motive. What is the thing that they actually want? The thing that they want is not the divorce. It's not going to mediation. It's not a defense for a DUI. Like, your services are not the thing that they actually want. What they actually want is the result of your services. I want you to remember that. I talk about this all the time, but there's three things that you should talk about during your sales consultations. Really, there's three things you should talk about in all of your messaging, on your website, on your ads, when you're in a consultation. There's only three things people care about. First thing is, what is it that they want? Second thing is, how do they get it? And the third thing is, what will their life be like after they get it? Because you are selling a result. That's what you're selling. You're not selling a legal service. You're selling a result. When you show them how you're going to help them get the result, and you talk to them about what their life is going to be like after they get that result, after you get that custody of their kids, or after you get the settlement, or whatever it is that they actually want, then all of a sudden they start seeing value in the fees. They start seeing why $5,000 makes sense. They would never spend $5,000 with a lawyer if the end result that they wanted is worth less than $5,000, because at that point they might as well just deal with whatever the consequence is, right? So what you need to do is you need to, during your consultation, talk about what they want, how they get it, and what their life will be like after they get it. And once that is demonstrated that it's way more valuable than your fees, it gets really, really easy to sign people up. Same thing goes for your website. I don't like when firms put their pricing on their website, because once again, all you're doing at that point is competing over price. And price is the absolute worst thing to compete over, right? You have to be either the cheapest or you have to be the most expensive. There's no strategic advantage to being the second lowest price. And if you want to be the cheapest, it's a race to the bottom, which is a terrible, terrible game to play. So don't ever discount your prices, and don't make it about price. Make it about value. That's why I believe that you should not have your prices revealed. So stop revealing your prices on your website. Let me know in the chat, do you currently tell your prices in advance? Or is that something that you don't do? And has this video persuaded you at all? Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll talk to you soon.